There's a fruit that was once so common in American backyards that kids would climb trees just to steal a taste. But here's the shocking truth. 99% of today's gardeners have never even heard of it. While you're paying $5 for a tiny container of flavorless berries at the grocery store, your grandparents were growing fruits so sweet and nutritious that they'd make today's supermarket offerings taste like cardboard. What I'm about to show you will completely change how you think about what belongs in an American orchard. And the most incredible part, most of these forgotten treasures are easier to grow than anything you'll find at the garden center. Fruit number 15, Paw Paw. Let's start with America's largest native fruit that most people have never tasted. The Paw Paw, often called the poor man's banana, was once so common in the eastern United States that entire festivals were built around harvest time. These tropical-tasting fruits grow on trees that can reach 25 feet tall, producing clusters of kidney-shaped fruits with creamy, custard-like flesh. But what makes Paw Paws truly special is their incredible flavor. Imagine a cross between a banana, mango, and vanilla custard, with hints of caramel that make them absolutely irresistible. Native Americans relied on Paw Paws as a major food source, and early settlers quickly learned to appreciate their rich, nutritious flesh that could sustain families through lean times. The trees are remarkably low maintenance, thriving in partial shade where other fruit trees struggle. They're naturally pest resistant, rarely requiring any chemical treatments, and can produce fruit for decades once established. A mature Paw Paw tree can yield 35 to 60 pounds of fruit annually, providing enough for fresh eating, baking, and preserving. What's tragic is that Paw Paws nearly disappeared from American orchards because the soft flesh doesn't ship well and has a short shelf life. But for backyard growers, these characteristics don't matter. You can enjoy perfectly ripe Paw Paws that taste like tropical paradise, grown right in your own yard. Fruit number 14, American Persimmon. Before Asian persimmons took over grocery stores, American families grew native persimmons, fruits so sweet and flavorful that they were often called nature's candy. These orange gems ripen in late fall, providing fresh fruit when most other crops have finished for the season. American persimmons are smaller than their Asian cousins, but pack incredible flavor when fully ripe. The flesh is sweet and honey-like with a texture that's both creamy and slightly chewy. But timing is everything. Unripe persimmons are astringent enough to pucker your mouth, while perfectly ripe ones are pure sweetness. The trees are incredibly hardy and drought-tolerant once established, often living for over 100 years and reaching heights of 30 to 50 feet. They're also remarkably productive, with mature trees yielding hundreds of pounds of fruit annually. Native Americans dried persimmons to make fruit leather that could last through winter, while early settlers used them for everything from puddings to beer. What makes American persimmons truly valuable is their incredible nutritional content. They're packed with vitamins A and C, plus minerals that were crucial for winter health. The trees also provide excellent wildlife habitat, supporting birds and other creatures throughout the year while producing food for your family. Fruit number 13, Elderberry. Long before immune-boosting supplements became trendy, American families grew elderberries for their powerful medicinal properties and incredible versatility in the kitchen. These dark purple berries grow in large, flat clusters on shrubs that can reach 8 to 12 feet tall, providing both beauty and function in the landscape. Elderberries have a tart, wine-like flavor that's perfect for jams, jellies, and the famous elderberry syrup that was a staple in every grandmother's medicine cabinet. The berries are incredibly rich in antioxidants and vitamin C, making them valuable for supporting immune health during cold and flu season. But elderberries weren't just about medicine. They were culinary treasures that added deep, complex flavors to pies, wines, and preserves. The flowers are also edible, often battered and fried into fritters or used to make elderflower wine and cordials that were popular at social gatherings. The shrubs are remarkably easy to grow, thriving in moist soil and producing fruit within 2 to 3 years of planting. They're also excellent for wildlife, providing food for birds while creating natural windbreaks and privacy screens. A single mature elderberry bush can produce 12 to 15 pounds of berries annually, enough for a year's supply of syrup and preserves. Fruit number 12, quince. Before apples dominated American orchards, families grew quince, a golden fruit so fragrant that a single specimen could perfume an entire room. While quinces are too tart and hard to eat fresh, they transform into something magical when cooked, developing a beautiful pink color and honey-like sweetness that made them essential for preserves and desserts. Quince trees are incredibly hardy and long-lived, often producing fruit for 50 years or more with minimal care. The trees are naturally disease-resistant and drought-tolerant once established, making them perfect for sustainable orchards. They're also beautiful ornamental trees, producing stunning pink and white flowers in spring, followed by the aromatic golden fruits in fall. The high pectin content in quinces made them invaluable for jam and jelly making. They could turn any low pectin fruit into perfect preserves without artificial additives. Quince paste, made by slowly cooking the fruit with sugar, was a delicacy that could last for months and provided concentrated nutrition during winter. What makes quinces truly special is their incredible fragrance and flavor when cooked. The flesh develops a beautiful rose color and complex taste that's both sweet and floral, perfect for tarts, preserves, and the traditional quince honey that was a treasured treat in early American households. Fruit number 11, Juneberry. Also known as serviceberry or Saskatoon berry, Juneberries were once a crucial food source for both Native Americans and early settlers. These small, dark berries ripen in early summer, providing the first fresh fruit of the season when winter stores were running low and other fruits weren't yet ready. Juneberries have a sweet, almond-like flavor that's often compared to blueberries, but with more complexity and depth. The berries are incredibly nutritious, packed with antioxidants, fiber, and essential minerals that made them valuable for maintaining health during challenging times. The trees or large shrubs are remarkably adaptable, thriving in a wide range of soil conditions and climates. They're naturally pest-resistant and require virtually no maintenance once established, making them perfect for low-maintenance orchards. The plants also provide beautiful spring flowers and excellent fall color, serving as both food source and ornamental landscape feature. A mature Juneberry plant can produce 10 to 15 pounds of berries annually, enough for fresh eating, baking, and preserving. The berries are excellent fresh in pies and muffins or dried for winter storage. They also make wonderful jams and jellies with a unique flavor that's distinctly American. Fruit number 10, American plum. Before European plums took over commercial orchards, American families grew native plums that were perfectly adapted to local conditions and incredibly flavorful. These small, colorful fruits range from red to yellow to purple, with sweet, tart flesh that was perfect for fresh eating and preserving. American plums are remarkably hardy and drought-tolerant, thriving in conditions that would stress European varieties. The trees are naturally disease-resistant and can handle temperature extremes that would kill more delicate fruit trees. They're also excellent for wildlife, providing food for birds and beneficial insects while creating natural windbreaks. The flavor of American plums is intense and complex, with a perfect balance of sweetness and tartness that makes them incredibly versatile in the kitchen. They're excellent fresh when fully ripe, but also make outstanding jams, jellies, and the traditional plum butter that was a staple in pioneer households. What makes American plums truly valuable is their incredible productivity and reliability. The trees begin bearing fruit within 3 to 4 years and can produce for decades with minimal care. A single tree can yield 30 to 50 pounds of fruit annually, providing enough for fresh eating and preserving while supporting local wildlife populations. Fruit number 9, mulberry. In the early 1900s, nearly every American farmstead had at least one mulberry tree, and for good reason. These prolific producers could feed an entire family with sweet, juicy berries that ripened over several weeks. The trees are fast-growing and incredibly productive, often yielding hundreds of pounds of fruit annually once mature. Mulberries look similar to blackberries but grow on trees rather than canes. The flavor is sweet and mild, with a honey-like quality that makes them perfect for fresh eating, baking, or making into jams and wines. Children especially loved mulberries because they could climb the trees and eat their fill without any preparation needed. The trees are remarkably low maintenance, thriving in almost any soil condition and requiring no pest control or fertilization. They're also incredibly fast-growing, often reaching 20 to 30 feet tall within just a few years of planting. The trees provide excellent shade and can live for decades with minimal care. What made mulberries truly valuable was their extended harvest season. The berries ripen gradually over 4 to 6 weeks, providing fresh fruit throughout early summer. Families could enjoy fresh berries daily while still having plenty for preserving, and the trees were so productive that there was always enough to share with neighbors and wildlife. Fruit number 8, gooseberry. Before cultivation bans nearly wiped them out, gooseberries were among the most popular fruits in American gardens. These tart, translucent berries were essential for pies, jams, and the famous gooseberry fool, a traditional dessert that showcase their unique sweet tart flavor. Gooseberries come in various colors from green to red to purple, with flavors ranging from quite tart to pleasantly sweet, depending on the variety and ripeness. The berries are incredibly rich in vitamin C and pectin, making them perfect for preserves and an important source of nutrition during winter months. The bushes are remarkably hardy and productive, thriving in cooler climates where other fruits struggle. They're naturally disease-resistant and can produce for 20 to 30 years with proper care. A mature gooseberry bush can yield 8 to 10 pounds of berries annually, enough for fresh eating and plenty of preserving. What makes gooseberries truly special is their incredible versatility in the kitchen. They're excellent in pies and tarts, make outstanding jams and jellies, and can be used in both sweet and savory applications. The high pectin content means they gel naturally without artificial additives, creating perfect preserves every time. Fruit number 7, crabapple. While modern gardeners often view crabapples as purely ornamental, our grandparents knew these small, tart fruits were culinary gold for jelly making and preserving. The high pectin and acid content in crabapples made them essential for creating perfect jellies and for helping low-pectin fruits set properly. Crabapple jelly was a staple in every well-stocked pantry, prized for its beautiful color and intense apple flavor that was more concentrated than regular apple jelly. The jelly was often served with meats, used as a glaze for baked goods, or simply enjoyed on fresh bread as a special treat. The trees are incredibly hardy and disease-resistant, often thriving in conditions where regular apple trees would struggle. They're also beautiful ornamental trees, producing masses of fragrant flowers in spring, followed by colorful fruits in fall. Many varieties provide excellent fall color, making them valuable landscape plants as well as food sources. What made crab apples truly valuable was their reliability and storage qualities. The trees produce consistently year after year, and the fruits can be stored for months in cool conditions. A single mature crab apple tree can produce enough fruit for dozens of jars of jelly, providing a year's supply of this treasured preserve. Fruit number 6, chokeberry. Native to North America and packed with more antioxidants than blueberries, chokeberries were a crucial food source for indigenous peoples and early settlers. These small, dark berries have an astringent quality when fresh that earned them their name, but they transform into something wonderful when cooked or processed. Chokeberries are incredibly nutritious, containing some of the highest levels of antioxidants found in any fruit. They were traditionally used for both food and medicine, helping to prevent scurvy and other nutritional deficiencies during long winters when fresh food was scarce. The shrubs are remarkably hardy and adaptable, thriving in wet or dry conditions and tolerating poor soil that would challenge other fruit plants. They're naturally pest and disease resistant, requiring virtually no maintenance once established. The plants also provide beautiful fall color and are excellent for wildlife habitat. While chokeberries are quite tart fresh, they make excellent jams, jellies, and juices when combined with sweeter fruits or a bit of sugar. They're also perfect for drying, creating a nutritious snack that can last for months. Modern research has confirmed what our ancestors knew. These berries are nutritional powerhouses that deserve a place in every health-conscious garden. Fruit number 5, sand cherry. In the harsh conditions of the Great Plains, families relied on sand cherries, small hardy fruits that could survive drought, extreme temperatures, and poor soil that would kill most other fruit plants. These tough little cherries provided essential nutrition and variety in diets that were often limited by challenging growing conditions. Sand cherries are small but intensely flavored, with a sweet tart taste that's perfect for jams, jellies, and pies. The fruits are also excellent for drying, creating a concentrated source of nutrition that could last through long winters. Native Americans traditionally mixed dried sand cherries with meat and fat to create pemmican, a high-energy food that sustained them during travels and lean times. The shrubs are incredibly hardy, tolerating temperatures down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit and thriving in sandy, poor soil where other plants fail. They're naturally drought-tolerant and require no fertilization or pest control, making them perfect for sustainable, low-maintenance orchards. What makes sand cherries truly valuable is their reliability in harsh conditions. While other fruits might fail during difficult years, sand cherries continue producing, providing food security when it's needed most. The shrubs also provide excellent wildlife habitat and erosion control, making them valuable for both food production and land management. Fruit number 4, Mayhaw. In the southern United States, spring meant Mayhaw jelly, a translucent ruby-red delicacy made from the small fruits of the Mayhaw tree. These trees grow naturally in wetlands and along streams, producing small apple-like fruits that were gathered by families for one of the most prized jellies in Southern cuisine. Mayhaw jelly has a unique, delicate flavor that's both sweet and tart, with floral notes that make it distinctly different from other fruit jellies. The jelly was so valued that families would wade into swamps and marshes to collect the fruits, often gathering enough to last the entire year. The trees are perfectly adapted to wet conditions, thriving in areas where other fruit trees would drown. They're naturally disease-resistant and require no care once established, making them perfect for naturalizing in appropriate habitats. The trees also provide beautiful spring flowers and excellent wildlife habitat. What makes Mayhaws truly special is their cultural significance and unique growing requirements. These trees represent a connection to Southern foodways and traditions that have been passed down through generations. The jelly they produce is unlike anything you can buy in stores, with a flavor that captures the essence of Southern spring. Fruit number 3, American hazelnut. Before imported hazelnuts dominated the market, American families grew native hazelnuts that were perfectly adapted to local conditions and incredibly productive. These nuts were a crucial source of protein and healthy fats, especially important during winter months when other food sources were limited. American hazelnuts have a rich, buttery flavor that's excellent fresh or roasted. They were traditionally used in baking, ground into flour, or pressed for oil that was valuable for both cooking and lamp fuel. The nuts store well for months when properly dried, providing long-term food security. The shrubs are remarkably hardy and productive, often forming thickets that can yield hundreds of pounds of nuts annually. They're naturally pest-resistant and require no fertilization, thriving in marginal soils where other crops would fail. The plants also provide excellent wildlife habitat and erosion control. What makes American hazelnuts truly valuable is their incredible productivity and nutritional content. The nuts are packed with protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals that were crucial for maintaining health during challenging times. A small grove of hazelnut shrubs could provide enough nuts to sustain a family through winter while supporting local wildlife populations. Fruit number 2, wild grape. Long before wine grapes were cultivated in America, families gathered wild grapes that grew abundantly along fence rows, stream banks, and forest edges. These hardy vines produced small, intensely flavored grapes that were perfect for jams, jellies, and the grape juice that was a staple in many households. Wild grapes have a concentrated, complex flavor that's much more intense than cultivated varieties. The high acid and pectin content made them perfect for jelly making, creating preserves with beautiful color and excellent scent without artificial additives. The grapes were also excellent for making vinegar, wine, and the grape leather that provided concentrated nutrition during winter months. The vines are incredibly hardy and productive, often living for decades and producing hundreds of pounds of grapes annually once established. They're naturally disease-resistant and require no care, thriving in conditions that would challenge cultivated grapes. The vines also provide excellent wildlife habitat and natural screening for unsightly areas. What made wild grapes truly valuable was their reliability and versatility. Even during difficult growing seasons, the vines would produce enough fruit for family needs. The grapes could be used fresh, dried for winter storage, or processed into various preserved foods that added variety and nutrition to monotonous winter diets. Fruit number 1, Buffaloberry. On the Great Plains, where few fruits could survive the harsh conditions, families relied on buffalo berries, small, tart fruits that grew on thorny shrubs capable of withstanding extreme drought, cold, and wind. These hardy berries were essential for adding vitamin C and variety to frontier diets. Buffalo berries are quite tart when fresh, but make excellent jellies, sauces, and dried fruit leather when properly prepared. Native Americans traditionally mixed them with meat and fat to create pemmican, while settlers used them for jams in the famous Buffaloberry fool, a whipped dessert that was a special treat on the frontier. The shrubs are incredibly hardy, tolerating temperatures down to -50 degrees Fahrenheit and thriving in poor alkaline soils where other plants fail. They're naturally drought-tolerant and require no fertilization or pest control, making them perfect for sustainable food production in challenging environments. What makes buffalo berries truly remarkable is their ability to thrive where nothing else will grow. These shrubs represent the ultimate in sustainable fruit production, providing reliable harvests year after year with absolutely no inputs. They also provide excellent wildlife habitat and erosion control in harsh environments. These 20 forgotten fruits represent more than just food. They're living connections to our agricultural heritage and proof that America once grew incredible diversity of delicious, nutritious fruits perfectly adapted to our climate and conditions. From the tropical tasting Paw Paw to the medicinal Elderberry, each variety tells a story of resourcefulness, flavor, and the deep connection between people and the land. If you're ready to bring real flavor and nutrition back to your orchard while connecting with America's fruit-growing traditions, make sure to subscribe for more forgotten varieties that deserve a comeback. And don't miss the next video where I reveal even more lost treasures that could transform your garden and your health.